Kyle, just talk a little bit about the youth of your team and some of the learning processes you're going through already just to get them ready. You've already played one game, but you play again on Thursday. But how difficult has it been to get the younger players to where you need them to be?
I don't think it's been difficult. Like when we talked earlier, it gives Dave and I an opportunity to teach and coach because we are kind of young. And to get the girls to understand exactly day in and day out what we have to accomplish in practice in preparation for our games. I know, against Hamilton Southeastern, I wasn't there, but they're a really, really solid program. They're one of the top teams in the state, year in, year out. And we had 3 or 4 mistakes that led to 4 or 5 runs. Now, you get beat 10-0 and 5. You don't make those 3 or 4 mistakes. It's a different ball game. But that's part of being young. And, we point to the North Central Conference and to our sectional, but we also understand that the county teams locally here provide us day in, day out, every bit the competition that we need. And I think it's just important for our girls to understand we don't have any days off.
How much of a wake-up call, though, was that against Hamilton Southeastern? What do you think the girls learned from it?
Well, I think they understand what a top team fundamentally, how well coached they are, how talented they are, in terms of where we're at in the state of Indiana relative to schools our size. They are always a good measuring stick. And for us, it's not so much us measuring against them and seeing where we're at. It's just more a case of us being able to look at that game and go, all right, these are the things we thought we did well, but these are the things we really need to work on. And for us to compete against a Hamilton Southeastern, you almost have to be error-free.
You had mentioned this is maybe the most talented or one of the most talented teams you've had, but from another standpoint, and again, that probably adds to the youth of it again, it's a team that still has to learn how to react a little bit quicker and make things a little more natural. How have you tried to overcome that?
Well, if the weather were better, we'd like to get outdoors. There's only so much we can do inside. We can talk about situations, we can talk about how you're going to react when there are certain things in place, but to be able to get out on the field and actually see those things, we've had limited opportunities. And from the standpoint of what we try to get accomplished in practice, you put them in those situations defensively. You see how they react, and we always tell them, look, it's better to make that mistake here, ask that question here, understand what we're trying to get accomplished in this particular drill, so that when those things arise during the game time, it becomes a case of we've done that, let's just go make the play.
You do have a couple of players back from a year ago. How much more important is it to have that type of leadership, especially you lost so many kids from last year's team, to have those kind of girls out on the floor or at least out on the field this year to try to help kind of ease the transition a little bit?
Well, we're really solid, Troy, we think, in the circle with Alyssa Tilton and Corinne Seiler, as well as Sarah Jordan, who is very, very solid as our number 3 pitcher. We've got a returning first baseman, Grace Townsend, Sarah Jordan at second, Mackenzie Taylor at short. We think we found who we want at third base, and we've got a young freshman at the catcher spot. So we're strong there in terms of our returning players. Outfield, got some young kids that they're going to have to step up and be able to make some plays, and that was probably our Achilles heel last year. We've got a young freshman, I think 2 freshmen that'll fill those voids, one in left and one in center field, Ryan Spicer and Peyton Ferris. And then we've got a transfer in Casey St. Clair, who I think will do well for us in right field.
Coach, before I let you get back to practice, talk a little bit about this week. It appears, at least if the weather holds out, you're going to play on Thursday, and then, of course, you've got your invitational on Saturday. Talk about this busy week.
Well, Thursday we have Connorsville. Connorsville's much improved. And we always take it, one game at a time. And then Saturday is our invite with Eaton, Hagerstown, and Jay County. All 3 of those schools, last year Hagerstown did everything but beat us last year in the first game of our invite. They are probably with the young lady they've got in their circle of freshmen, going to be extremely competitive this year in the TEC, and they'll be competitive with us. I haven't seen the draw, so I don't even know who we play, but I know Jay County year in and year out gives us everything we want and then some, and Eaton is a program that's growing and getting better. So we hope we take each week. We'd like to finish the week undefeated, 3-0, and then go into next week in preparation for a busy schedule. I think we got 4 or 5 games in 6 days.